This is a hard one because you have to define what journalism is. And journalism, you can think of it as informed writing meant to be open-minded, transparent, and deliver useful information. Or you can think of it as a set of institutions that are protective and have made stupid decisions. I mean, it's one of those things we can have a big argument about, but it's going to be irrelevant soon. So I just think of it as, and this may, maybe this doesn't make sense. I think of it as just very broadly that it's good writing about science.
Well, I mean, you say good. I mean, there's good journalism, there's bad journalism, so it's just writing about science.
Okay, I'll buy that.
We love to put labels on things. People love to put labels on blogging. What is blogging? What is blogging supposed to do? What is science blogging about? What do you as a science blogger do? What is the future of science blogging? And I actually get asked these questions, like if I go to a journalism school and talk about blogging, and I just keep saying it's just a software system. It's whatever you want. And so I think I agree. We shouldn't get too hung up on definitions of science journalism.
Which should really answer your question. We don't see the point in excluding bloggers that are going to be acting as journalists while they're at the meeting.
Yeah, you should look at the individual bloggers and see, are they writing well and responsibly about science? And that would be my sole criterion. Let them in.
You could even take it down to a case-by-case basis. Like is one piece of work someone does journalism is something else more entertainment or press material. I just don't think those taxonomic definitions really matter anymore.
I guess the one thing to me that's important is to distinguish some arena where it's, if not disinterested, at least transparent, where there's an attempt at being, fair-minded. You don't have a clear conflict of interest that makes you into a certain
Jumping back there.
I think it's, I think it's Andrew Sullivan at Daily Dish who came up with the idea of being a disc jockey for ideas. And part of his brand is taking material he sees as quality and interesting and just signing over his space to that interesting material. So is that a paradigm we can see more widely? In which case, what can each of you do personally with your space online to help people with this conference get published? And also, so Carl, if Carl Zimmer is now a multimedia, extraordinaire. So does that, if the Loom becomes, this sort of radio for ideas, does that make Carl Zimmer more? Is it more important to get published at Carl Zimmer than at the New York Times?
Yeah. You're very flattering, but no. I don't know. I still having blogged now for something like 6 years. I have seen blogging kind of take a place in the media ecosystem, but it has not. It's sort of like Phragmites coming into the wetlands. It's like it comes in and spreads, but it doesn't completely wipe everything out. There's still our large newspapers and so on, and even online, they have just sort of a cultural power. The New Yorker website, the Atlantic website, where Andrew Sullivan started his blog on his own. Then what happened? He went to the Atlantic.
He was at Time first.
Huh?
He was at Time, yeah.
Right, but again, went to large magazines with websites that people go to. That's how I'm seeing things these days.
Michael? Could I just say a couple reactionary things? One is, I love Wired, and the editors of Wired are my friends, but I wouldn't go to them and ask what to read to learn about writing. Read Anna Karenina. Read Howard's End. Read good books that have stories told well. It will apply to science writing. All this sort of are we blogging, are we not blogging, are we tweeting, or just write good, interesting things. My big concern is that the general interest publications, whether they're in the ether or on any other format, are going to go away. Because when people read some of the stories I write in the New Yorker, they did not go to the New Yorker to read about endogenous retroviruses or AIDS in Africa. But they do read it because it's in a general interest magazine, and they just start. And then if it's good, they continue. And the people who are reading ours, they're very specific, and it's a great website, but we need much more than that. And I don't think we can do it in thousands of splintered little places.
But how do you,
So
how do
you
you,
promote-
how do you keep that going in this age where people prefer to go online, to go and use that kind of way to get information? I mean,
No,
that's
I
the way
think
things
that
are
I'm
going.
not-
So how do you keep the general interest magazine spirit going there?
Well, I think
Places like Slate, places that are like seed science blogs. I'm not talking about in a newspaper or a magazine. I'm talking about just a broader, wider vision of what we write about. Because I said this last night, and I really mean it. Science is much bigger than just some even unbelievably interesting stories, and we can't forget that or let people forget it, or they're going to go read about something else.
Well, I think some of that function, that general interest, and you bump into science story function, is to some extent served by places like the Daily Dish, Andrew Sullivan's
Yeah, no, I
blog.
agree.
Because he called out this, well, him and Kottke, for instance, gave a little paragraph to the Atlantic story I wrote, and that was, a huge replication of the here's a general interest place. So I think, I don't want to be too polite and complacent about this, but I think some of that gets
No, I'm not. I'm not
There's-
suggesting that it doesn't, or that look, those places are great. I'm just saying I wish that we thought more about places like Andrew's website or Slate, which I think is an excellent general interest magazine
Yeah.
that has lots of things, including excellent science. And I read specific blogs like Carl's all the time, and people will do that and should do that. But I just think if you really want to be serious about reaching all the types of people we need in order to do anything other than just talk to ourselves in hotel rooms, we need to do much more broadly what we want to do than just specific sites.
In a world where we have things like Google News or Google Reader specifically, does the actual venue where someone's writing still make that much difference? I mean, if someone writes a good piece, with the web these days, even if you hadn't heard of Ars Technica 2 days ago, it can rapidly spread throughout communities and people start passing them around, kind of electronically. I don't think you actually, it breaks down the need for generalist publications in that sense, because once you can use the web, you have access to everything. As long as it's not behind a paywall. Anyone.
Okay, but once you have access to the web, and I think one of the things we as a community of people who use the web, as our bread and butter, tend to forget is that not everyone has access to the web, not everyone has the technological nous to use things like Twitter, link sharers, and my great worry is that if we focus too much on these media, we're going to lead to an information inequality where people without the resources to access them or the knowledge to do so just lose out. They just lose access to that really interesting material, which they might gain through focusing on sort of general resources that might actually.
Isn't there an issue that if you're talking about the big hit, whether it's the duck sex piece or the piece you were just talking about that will go, that sort of goes viral, that's kind of like a top 40 model, whereas a general interest publication is much more like an album model where you've got 1 or 2 great songs that draw you to it, but then you read the whole thing and you get a much wider picture and a much more general thing. Whereas if you just focus on the hits, you're never going to really get the depth of field that you need.
What's an album?
It's an old guy.
So, the thing I'd say on this topic is that there's several people here who are talking about how do I get treated as a journalist, how do I get things published. Ours is about one of the few tech sites, ours, Wired, a few others, that actually have a science section. And there's a lot of tech sites out there, they draw a lot